Let's continue with this tutorial. In the last lesson, we left off with the folding process. We touched on the soft selection tool and adjusting to get the correct area for the bending. There was a few things that I noticed in our UV texture editor, and in particularly with our model that we've created. And if you don't like the texture going through to the back, you have to adjust the UVs to be in a different place, so you won't see the texture on the back or on the sides. Because this is going to be folded, and if you'd like to save time, you can leave the UVs the way they are. But I can show you how to quickly move your UVs away from the texture on the sides and as well as the back. And to do that, you need to select all of your UVs, and let's select all of the edges and use the separate the UVs along the selected edges cut tool. So that will cut all of the UVs and make it easy for us to move what we need to move. And now if you go into that selected UV and go to the shell, you will get the shell of that face. So now we need to select all of the appropriate UVs that we don't need. And move them away from our work. Don't need that one. Okay, now we have all of the back UVs selected. Let's move to the texture editor and right click and go to the shell. Now we have the shell of all of those UVs selected. Let's use the move tool and let's move those to the side. Let's now select all of the UVs here and sew the selected edges or the UVs together. Let's select these UVs and let's scale them down, and we can place them in an area like this. Will be fine. I put them here because it's a white area and the board is a bleached SBS board, so that will work fine. The size is not an issue for this, as long as they're away from your artwork. Okay, let's move back to the folding carton. Now we can see that our texture is not on the sides or on the back. I also noticed when we go into the smooth subdivision setting that this banner here is, or this banderole is jumping down. Let's just add let's add a split there, and that'll help. That's better. This one needs to be adjusted as well. Make it consistent and add one here. And let's close this window and delete the history. Okay, that looks good. Let's move back to the folding process. And let's move this window to be the front view only. That's annoying. Okay, let's select a few edges. Let's grow the selection so we have the appropriate edges that we need to fold. And let's move into the rotation tool. And ensure that we are in the correct area. B for the soft selection. Okay, that looks good. Let's see where that is. Check to see how the fold is coming along, and let's bring that 90 degrees. A little more. Something like that. I'm not crazy about this being red. Let's move this in just a little bit to darken those dark reds. That looks a little bit better. And let's fold that 90. Okay, that looks good. We can come in here and adjust some of these to be a little cleaner. I like to also move it out a little. Okay, that looks good for there. Looks like a nice fold. All right, let's move on to the next one. We can select those faces. And let's grow our selection and hit B to check. I think we need to move the fall off curve in to darken that area. And let's move the rotation tool, snapping it to a point and holding D to move to the correct area. Alright, that looks good. Move to the top view And let's rotate this 90 degrees. Okay, that looks good. Sometimes the snap tool will push it in a way that you don't like. Okay, let's move off of the soft selection and adjust some UVs. We can grab all of these. Let's move this down here. Adjust it something like that. Move to the perspective view. Check the smooth divisions. That looks pretty good. Alright, that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll continue the folding process. I'll see you soon. Thank you.